Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for your third piece of content on an incredibly busy Chelsea Friday. The Champions League draw was earlier. I was live for about 45 minutes with Eunice, and then also I did a backup video following on from the draw talking about why Chelsea can win the Champions League. How is it even possible to think about beating Real Madrid, to think about beating Bayern Munich or Man City? Well, the reasons why begin tomorrow when Chelsea play Everton at Stamford Bridge in the Premier League, with the potential of making it 4 wins in a row in all competitions. It is absolutely essential that Chelsea win this game tomorrow, and I'm going to tell you guys why. But before I do that, we are so close to 250,000 Chelsea fans here on the channel. If we can somehow hit that, if you subscribe to this YouTube channel now, if you're not already, we might be able to hit it before 6 things we learned tomorrow, which means hopefully in my match review it will be a double whammy celebration of 250,000 of you lot and a Chelsea win. Chelsea face an Everton side who have kind of gone through a similar little glow up than we have in recent times. Everton sack Frank Lampard, and as much as I wanted Lampard to succeed, he didn't. Sean Dyche comes in, and lo and behold, what have Everton become? Everton become difficult to beat, great, against the Chelsea team that have only just started scoring goals again. Exactly what we want. No, it's not what we want. They become difficult to beat again, and they're looking pretty good going forward. And all in all, Everton, in the space of a month, have gone from looking like a team that were destined to be relegated to the team that no one really wants to play. Yes, there's been a couple of woeful results in that Sean Dyche early spell as well. But when Chelsea have struggled to play against teams with a low block all season long, yes, I'm positive because of the way that we have managed to turn things around in recent weeks. We've looked good. The last 3 games we've played have been better and better and better every single time we've stepped out on the field. And there is more of a positive buzz around the fan base now, which will absolutely benefit us when we're at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea need to make Stamford Bridge a fortress again. It has been in the past, and it's been the reason why we have been able to make it difficult for teams to come to the bridge. However, in recent years, it's become easy, and I think a lot of that has become to Chelsea have struggled so much over the course of the past few years to break teams down. Teams will come to Stamford Bridge and they will look to counter. They will look to literally play and give themselves 1 or 2 opportunities to score. And as well as good teams coming and scoring decent goals, you look at Southampton, Ward-Prowse, free kick. Corsi flipping scores it. Chelsea have been unlucky, I think, at home as well. And I think when you compare some of the freedom of the football that we saw against Leicester to what we saw feebly, really, in that win at home to Leeds, Chelsea need to enter this game with the same level of optimism from an aggressive attacking perspective at Stamford Bridge for this Premier League game as we did away at Leicester last week. The Leicester fixture, in my opinion, I said it before, I predicted the 3-1 scoreline, got it bang on. I thought that this game was going to offer Chelsea the chance to score goals because Leicester all season long have been open. They have been easy to score against, but have also looked good going forward. Against this Everton team, they've recently looked pretty good going forward, but they've also been difficult to break down. What Sean Dyche does well, and there is an incredible YouTube video where Sean Dyche basically displays and shows his model of defending as defending with a V shape. If you were to look at a football pitch, you defend within and around these lines. And Chelsea have struggled so much against teams who do that by narrowing things down. Chelsea are going to have to be creative in order to break down this Sean Dyche Everton team tomorrow at Stamford Bridge. So, without any further ado, I have built my Chelsea starting 11 here, and I've gone with something very similar. Arrizabalaga starts in goal. He's made that number 1 place his own. Wesley Fofana, Kalidou Koulibaly, and Marc Cucurella are my back 3. This has been a very, very solid back line for Chelsea. And I think what is very interesting, we've got N'Golo Kante to come back very, very soon. He might even be in the squad for this game tomorrow. I've made this video just before the press conference. But we might see Kante feature. We won't see it yet. But Thiago Silva is not ready and he will not be rushed back into this Chelsea team. But what you've got here with Fofana, Koulibaly and Cucurella are three players who you could argue a month ago didn't look as though it was going to be going well for them at all at Chelsea. Wesley Fofana a bit different because he was injured, so therefore we were just waiting for him to come back to be able to show the brilliance that we have seen in recent games. I think Wesley Fofana plays with such a calmness on the ball, with a confidence on the ball that he can carry it forward, and we can also see that he's good in the air. He scored from a corner against Leeds and almost scored last week against Leicester too. Cucurella, positionally, has become so much better than he has been before. And I think playing on that left side of that centre-back, when you've got Chilwell, who you can see now on the left wing-back position, and Reece James back in the team today in the right wing-back position. What Chilwell and Cucurella do so well is Chilwell's positives are pretty much Cucurella's negatives, and Chilwell's negatives are Cucurella's positives. So what that's created on that left-hand side, if you throw a Mudryk further forward, Chelsea have become very dynamic in terms of the way that these three players on that left side of the pitch can move, and the adaptability of having someone like Cucurella in there to change the game for Chelsea formation-wise, which is something that we've been looking for under Graham Potter, and we saw it perfectly executed in that game against Leicester. Chelsea went from a back three to a back four and looked a lot better as a result of doing so at some stages in the game, allowing Mudryk, who is further forward, to venture more out to the left where he's more dominant than through the middle. But my two midfielders, I've gone with Kovacic and Enzo. These two are very quickly striking up a very formidable midfield partnership for Chelsea. With N'Golo Kante to come back, I think at the moment it's such a weird time of the season, because now that we look forward to that Real Madrid game, Chelsea have also got to face Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester United in the Premier League. And I think we've got to give it a go now. And when I talk about momentum and why Chelsea need to win this game against Everton to even start thinking ahead to try and beat Real Madrid in the Champions League, Chelsea go into these games against Real Madrid on an unbeaten run, on a winning run, then there's a lot of confidence flooding through a talented squad of players. And Enzo and Kovacic look so good against Leicester together that with N'Golo Kante still to come back as well, Chelsea have got a lot to look forward to here. There is also going to be the debate that will be had about players like Reece James. You can see here in the midfield, he starts for me. Will we see him rush back now that we know that we have got such an uphill battle to win the Champions League, to get us top four football, Champions League football next season? Can Chelsea still finish in the top four? It's also a topic that I've not really spoken too much about, because when you look at the table, it still looks impossible. You look at this team that we've got, and if I put my front three out for you guys now, Mudryk on the left, Havertz on the right, Felix on the right, Havertz through the middle. But I do think we'll see João Felix dropping in central, Mudryk potentially dropping central, maybe Felix out on the left, Havertz out on the right. We could see those three moving around. And it was so good against Leicester at times. Kai Havertz was phenomenal when he drifted out to the right. I think with this Chelsea team now, there is an adaptability. And I think this game is probably the first time in a long time that I've been genuinely excited to watch us play, because of all of those positives. With so many of the players you can see here in my lineup, I'm not sure what Potter's going to do, because what he did to manage the game against Leicester away last week was fantastic. But I do think here against Everton we are going to see Chelsea go out there and try and entertain again. I think we'll play attacking football. I want to see João Felix not only get a bit of luck first of all, but I think there needs to be a lot better output from him in this game. Havertz needs to keep building on his form. And my score prediction, as I've been pretty good with these recently, we got the Leicester one right last week. I think Chelsea will score more goals here again tomorrow against Everton, or maybe today if you're watching it on Saturday morning. Chelsea 3, Everton 0. I'm confident with this Chelsea side at the moment. I think what I saw from Potter last week has given me so much more confidence with that in-game management, the changing of formations. You can argue that maybe Conor Gallagher deserves a start, but at this point, like I've said for the last couple of weeks, Chelsea and Potter need to start building the strongest 11. We need to keep playing with a winning formula to give us the best chance to continue winning football matches and give us the best shot going into that huge game away in Real Madrid in the Bernabeu on the 11th of April, and then they come back to the Bridge on the 18th. In between that, Chelsea, I think they've got to face Aston Villa, Wolves and Liverpool in the Premier League. Liverpool also at Stamford Bridge. It's not going to be easy, but Chelsea need to win this game. If Graham Potter gets a win tomorrow, you can even argue that he might even win the Premier League Manager of the Month award for March, which, to say that 2 weeks ago, would have been absolutely delusional. But we're about to have an international break, and if Chelsea win this, 4 wins in a row, the international break comes at the worst possible time. But at the same time, we can breathe a sigh of relief that finally we are on that upward trajectory going into the business end of the season. If we can still get top 4, it just depends on win, 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 win. Teams above us will slip up. There will be teams that don't win every single game. Chelsea need to win every single match if we are to even start thinking about top 4. And I will only really take that seriously in the middle of April. We have got to go on a winning run. We've won the last 2 in the league, and it has to be 3 at home to Everton tomorrow. So yeah, check out all the other content from today. Check out the news video, check out the stream to see my live reaction to us drawing Real Madrid. But let me know your Chelsea starting 11s in the comments below, and subscribe to GBFC as we are really now on the final hurdle towards 250,000 Chelsea fans, which is mad. Come on, you Blues.